Let's talk about the dark side of marriage. Some marriages are built on trust. Others, on well-hidden lies. The world loves stories of loyalty and devotion, but behind closed doors, reality often tells a different tale. How often do people preach about love and commitment while secretly betraying those very words? Today we're stripping away the illusions. No filters, no sugarcoating, just the raw, unspoken truths about marriage. Because there's something no one warns you about. Some married women don't just break their vows, they do it willingly, deliberately, and without remorse. And once you see the pattern, you can never unsee it. Let's talk about her, the woman who once played by the rules. Before marriage, she was the prize, the untouchable trophy. She made men chase her, work for her, prove their worth. Why? Because she needed a provider, a man who would offer her security. And the moment she got it, when the ring slid onto her finger and the papers were signed, the rules changed. She no longer needed to prove anything. She had won. And now she craves something else. A thrill, a taste of freedom, a secret escape. Imagine this scene. A man spots a woman at a bar. She's attractive, confident. But there's something else. A ring on her finger, a flashing warning sign, a hard stop. Or at least that's what it should be. But what does she do? She leans in, smiles, holds eye contact just a little too long. Maybe she even whispers the words, "I'm married." It's not a warning. It's bait, a test. If he takes the hint and backs off, he's not the man she's looking for. If he plays along, the game begins. She isn't searching for love. She's hunting for a moment that makes her feel alive. A break from routine, a rush of adrenaline. And as long as her husband remains oblivious, she sees no harm in indulging. Think this is rare? Think again. A survey of 500 men revealed a brutal truth. Over 60% admitted to being involved with a married woman at least once. And the real shocker? 40% of them said she was the one who made the first move. The truth is simple. Men aren't always the hunters. Sometimes, they're the prey. But here's where it turns from casual thrill to outright disaster. What happens when the man falls for her? That's when the real chaos begins. Falling for a married woman isn't just dangerous, it's self-destruction. The deeper his feelings, the more he craves something she will never give. She doesn't want commitment. She doesn't want emotional weight. She just wants a fleeting moment of escape. And the second he asks for more, he turns into a problem. One she will cut off without hesitation. And here's the real kicker. She's never the one at risk. While she plays her little games, her husband is still there, providing, protecting, giving her the safety net she needs to take these reckless chances. So ask yourself, who's really in control? Who's the real player in this game? Because if you don't know the rules, you'll be the one getting played. Here's the game she plays. Why some married women don't fear betrayal. A single woman hesitates before making a reckless choice. A married woman with a safety net? She doesn't flinch. She's got a home, a husband, financial security. She knows that no matter what happens, she won't be the one left in the cold. Look around. The world is littered with shattered marriages, ruined careers, public humiliations, families torn apart. Politicians, business moguls, Hollywood elites, one by one, they fall. But here's the part no one talks about. The person they blamed wasn't always the one who set the trap. So if you find yourself tangled in this web, what's the way out? Rule number 1. Stop lying to yourself. You're not the exception. These stories don't have happy endings. You are a temporary thrill, a side plot in a life where you are easily erased. Rule number 2. Don't try to change her. She's not looking for love. She's looking for a moment. And when that moment is over, so is your relevance. Rule number 3. Understand the stakes. This game only has 2 possible endings. You walk away on your terms, or you get discarded when she's done. But why does this pattern repeat? Because routine kills excitement. A house filled with chores, endless to-do lists, predictable conversations, that's when the craving begins. Add in girls' nights out, bar hopping, and the thrill of validation from a new man, and suddenly an affair doesn't seem like betrayal. It feels like revival. Here's the twisted irony. Women want a strong, successful man. They chase stability. But once they have it, they start testing it. The man who once had self-respect starts compromising. He gives more, bends more, sacrifices his identity to please her. And in that moment, he becomes boring, predictable, replaceable. She stops respecting him. And once that respect is gone, it's over. Most men don't even see it happening. They believe they're doing everything right. But behind the scenes, their marriage is already dying. Because for some women, cheating isn't betrayal. It's a way to feel alive. As long as the house is still standing, the husband's still clueless, and life carries on, they justify it. But here's the breaking point. The moment a woman loses respect for a man, loyalty becomes a myth. And if he tolerates her subtle betrayals, she will escalate. It's like a mansion with a crumbling foundation. It looks perfect on the outside, but one storm and it collapses. Picture the husband, a man balancing on a tightrope over an abyss. He's pouring in his soul, his finances, his time, while his wife shakes the rope harder and harder until he falls. So why play a game you were never meant to win? History is littered with men who destroyed their legacies over a moment of weakness, and full of women who pushed boundaries, convinced they were untouchable, until they weren't. No respect, no loyalty, no future. Believing things will magically fix themselves? That's the greatest illusion of all. Because some relationships aren't built on love. They're built on borrowed time. Here is the biggest lie men believe about married women. At first glance, it seems simple. A married woman isn't looking for love. She doesn't need flowers, dates, or whispered promises. She already has a man for that. What she wants is different. A shortcut to excitement, a thrill with no strings attached. And for men avoiding commitment, that looks like the perfect deal. No drama, no obligations, just pleasure. But this is the trap. The second a man starts believing there's something real, he's done. Because these flings, they have an expiration date. She gets her adventure, he gets an illusion of closeness. But when emotions creep in, when he starts craving more, she's gone. Because let's be brutally honest, he sees her as different. He starts imagining a future. But she's not looking for another husband. She's already got one. And when things get messy, when he pushes for more, her choice is already made. She goes back. He's left broken. Let's cut through the fantasy. Marriage doesn't change people. It exposes them. If a woman didn't respect her husband before the wedding, that ring won't fix it. If she saw him as weak, as a man she could push around, marriage will only make it worse. Some women cheat out of weakness. Others, because it's who they are. And the biggest mistake a man can make? Thinking he'll be the one to wake her up and change her. That never happens. Men, stop ignoring the red flags. If she doesn't respect you, walk away. If she's constantly testing you, stop playing her game. The more you tolerate, the less she values you. Women, be honest with yourself. Are you ready to commit? Or are you just chasing the next thrill? Because the truth is brutal. Life isn't a rehearsal. Every choice leaves a scar. And once you cross a line, there's no erasing it. Do you agree? Or do you think differently? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you're ready for more unfiltered truth, hit that like and subscribe, because this is just the beginning. See you next time.